Hey, let's talk a minute about overcoming fear, unlearning things that we've learned over time. You see, fear is a primal instinct. It's hardwired into our brains for survival. Yet, I don't know if you knew this, but when you're born, you're only born with two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. The rest, every other fear that you experience in life, is learned somewhere along the way. From the fear of spiders to the fear of flying or public speaking, these fears are not inherent to our existence, but rather products of our experiences, conditioning, and the environment around us. This is a fascinating insight, and it suggests that if fear can be learned, it can also be unlearned, sometimes in an instant. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself paralyzed by fear, only to realize that later that fear was unfounded or disproportionate to the situation? It's a common experience, one that underscores the malleability of our fears and the power that we have to overcome them. The process of unlearning fear begins with awareness, by recognizing that our fears are not intrinsic to who we are, but rather learned responses. In doing so, we then open the doors to transformation. We can start to question the validity of our fears and examine the beliefs and experiences that have shaped them. Unlearning fears also requires courage. The courage to confront our fears head on, to challenge the thoughts and the beliefs that have been holding us back, and to step outside of our comfort zone. It's not always easy, but it's essential for our growth and our personal development. One powerful technique for unlearning fear is through exposure. By exposing ourselves to the source of our fear in a safe and controlled environment, we can desensitize ourselves to it and reduce its hold over us. And this approach allows us to rewire our brains by replacing fear-based responsive with more adaptive ones. And the safest place to do that is in the comforts of our own mind, where we can expose them in a controlled environment by imagining, because to our unconscious minds, imagination and reality have the same impact. Another effective strategy is by restructuring our thoughts, reprocessing those things that are involved in identifying and challenging those irrational thoughts and beliefs that underlie our fears. By reframing our thinking and adopting a more realistic perspective, we can diminish the power of fear over our lives. Mindfulness practices play a very significant role in unlearning fear. By cultivating present moment awareness and non-judgmental acceptance of our thoughts and emotions, we can develop a greater sense of calm and resilience in the face of fear. So this journey to unlearning fear is a deeply personal one, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach. It requires patience, perseverance, and self-compassion. But the rewards are immense. The freedom to live life on your own terms, unencumbered by the shackles of fear. So the next time that you find yourself paralyzed by fear, remember this: fear is not your destiny. It's merely a learned response that can be unlearned. With courage, awareness, and the right tools, you have the power to overcome fear and embrace a life of freedom and possibility. Unlearning fear is not always easy, but it's always worth it. So take the first step today. Reclaim your power over fear. You have the ability to rewrite your story and to create a future filled with courage, resilience, and boundless potential.